Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. We are well along our way. Hopefully you joined us on office hours at 5 a.m., clubhouse at 6 a.m., and training at 11 a.m., all Pacific time. So 3 hours from now, we're doing an innovator versus entrepreneur training. Great to see everybody. And looking here, we will get to you, Ron. I see you're here. Thank you so much. About 8:05 or so. Love to get warmed up here, take some questions, and see how we're going through everything. Let's get the questions rolling. Team David Meltzer. Hey, Sean, good to see you, my friend. We'll pin this up here. Go ahead, email me if you need anything, david@dmeltzer.com. Love having all of you on here every single day. We got the questions coming. Thank you. What type of content gets you motivated the fastest? One, content with music gets me motivated, because motivation for me is getting up, getting back up, getting started, getting back started. And content with music has the same emotional effect as things like a hug. So there's actually a frequency or vibration to music. So if content has the right music, it's going to get there. Who's your pick for March Madness? Depends on what pool I'm in, because if it's a Ohio State pool, like a bunch of guys from Ohio State, I'm not picking Ohio State because they all are. So I'll pick someone like San Diego State. But if it's a San Diego State one, I'm picking Ohio State. I think some other teams, obviously Baylor to watch and Rutgers to watch. Jake Rutgers, see, there you go. Very good. So those all fun. March Madness, one of my favorite things that we're dealing with. So look, going well here. Sorry. What type of content gets you? Let me erase that real quick. Alrighty. Not my first rodeo. 11 a.m. today, Innovator versus Entrepreneur. If you miss any of the trainings, Millionaires, Billionaires, Entrepreneurs, IG Lives, they're all available on the playbook. Just download it. It's on Spotify, Entrepreneur, Google, iTunes. It's the top podcast in the world. We're there in the top. I think Rogan has that spot, though. What is the good way to make extra money as a 20-year-old? Buy low and sell high. Buy pre-sold stuff. Go ahead and reverse engineer what you like to buy and sell. Easiest way to make money as a 20-year-old, or to sell. Those are the easiest ways to sell something for someone, or to find something you could buy and have it pre-sold, or buy something low and sell it high. Those are the easiest ways to make money. And there's a lot of places to do it today, which is beautiful. Can you talk about plateauing and growing? Sure. Most people, they live their life as if they push a boulder to the top of the hill, and then every morning when they wake up, it's at the bottom of the hill. By shifting the paradigm of time and calendaring, I start my day at 9 p.m. So my tomorrow starts today at 9 p.m. with an unwinding routine. So my meditation at 4 a.m. isn't to get me up, get me back up, get me started with the boulder at the bottom of the hill. It's actually a bridge from a higher frequency or a plateau into my day. So the 20 minutes of meditation is actually a transition from the connectivity that I have subconsciously and unconsciously, without my ego in the way, and my physical recovery, and the capability of using meditation as a baseline for the rest of the day to plateau and grow. If you want more information on that, come to trainings. They're free, or download the playbook. Everything's available, david@dmeltzer.com. I will be doing a live training in 3 hours, so just join me. You can email me, text me, it doesn't matter. I'll give you, it's free, no problem. All right, let's join my friend here, Mr. Cool, at R Cool Jr. He's the Hindsight Hack King Media. Follow.cool. There he is. Hey, super cool. What's going on?
How's it going, man?
It's going great. I got to turn up my volume real quickly. Good to see you on here.
Nice to be here. Super honored to be on your show, man.
It's so cool. So I know we got together earlier in the week, and I just want to get, let's talk about your show, and as the Hack King in Media. Tell me about why, for my show, it's to provide the insight from people like you to empower people to be happy. And I think it takes all types of time and situations to allow people to hear everybody, because what I say may not resonate, but the way that you say it will. And so you help that exposure, that amplification, increasing the visibility, the traffic, and the sales. So what motivated you to do that?
Oh my gosh. So we got motivated because we saw there was a gap out in the industry where there was a ton of impactors that were just either afraid or didn't know how to get their message out there. So we put together our company and our systems and our courses to help the impactors impact their tribe by taking away all the excuses with a completely done for you platform. And we did it extremely reasonable. Like we wanted just to make sure their message is heard and it's out there in the world.
I think one of the other things that you guys provide is a integrity. One of the things that I've learned over the last 5 years, and trying to amplify the impact that I've had, and everyone sees the progress and success that we've had, and thinks, oh, that they must know. Well, we paid a tremendous amount of dummy tax, and I love the fact that you're scaling the dummy tax that not only you've learned, but learned from so many other thought leaders, speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, people who want to have an impact, because still today, there's a ton of people that pretend like they know what they're doing and they really don't. For you, what are some of those lessons that you guys have alleviated through the platform and the reasonable, value justified platform that you utilize to have that impact?
Oh my gosh. So when we started our podcast, as you know, there's a lot that goes into that, right? So if you get involved in things, you put somebody down to learn how to do it. And then as you're starting down this process, you realize, I don't know how to do graphics. I don't know how to edit. And now you're already so far into it and you have to put more money out. And we're like, gosh, that's not right to do to people. So if we can put together an offer that's as cheap as other people's just pure coaching with a completely done for you thing, that takes away the excuse and it allows them to provide that message out there, and they can just focus on what they're good at. And then we kind of cheat, David. So I'm gonna tell you how we cheat a little bit.
Okay.
So our mission is to impact thousands of people, and we can't do that by ourselves. So if we help other people get their message out and impact their tribe, we kind of take a little bit of credit for that.
Which is very good. And to that matter, what are some of the bigger lessons that you've learned from accommodating all these different people in their efforts? Are there some like glaring things that people do to be back end sold, oversold, lied, manipulated, and cheated?
Yeah, I think everyone's looking for a golden nugget, right? Everyone thinks there's something out there that they need. And I will tell you, the only thing that people need is to get started and believe. And you talk about faith as a currency. And we, I'm very big on faith, and we prayed a lot before we started this. And my partner, Corey Carter, he said something very profound when COVID hit was, this is either done for us or to us. And I think so many people looked at this situation as it was happening to them and not necessarily for them, which is just a little bit of a mind switch. But if you looked at it from the point of view of it's happening for you, what are you able to do now that you couldn't do? Like, people are slowing down. People are looking at their God-given gifts and they're understanding that there's value to it. And then understand your value and your worth in the marketplace and understand who you are and how you can help impact other people.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that one and even a step further, because I went from a world of everything was happening to me. I call it the why me world, where you're a victim, and very, very scarce world. And it doesn't matter what you have. I've had friends, I always say, that have $40 million homes, and they still live in that world of everything's happening to them, and it's a world of not enough of anything. And then I did move into the world, that switch, and I thought I was an optimist. I was going to give to get, and it was a world of for me and very positive. Read Napoleon Hill, and I was going to achieve everything I could conceive and believe.
Right.
And then I realized that there's another world, a step beyond for me, and it's a world of complete abundance, and it's the world of through me. Right? That I actually can receive to give when I'm unconditional about my giving, and I'm confident with faith that everything is going to come through me for others that I'm connected to and through and from, which is something we share, right? This great source of light, love, and lessons that comes through us with complete faith that if we do the right things, we'll end up in a better place. And it's much greater than a for me world, or especially a to me world. To that respect, you guys have helped over 100 people launch their podcast in this year alone.
Yes.
And, which is an incredible feat because, like you said, 1,000 times 1,000 is a million times 1,000 a billion. And podcasts are a great way to amplify and perpetuate some terrific content to impact people. What are some of the best podcasts that you've amplified that, you think are having the greatest impact?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. There's Vision Driven Mom, which has been a phenomenal show that we helped launch, where she helps mothers with this whole entrepreneur journey, right? So she gives them a lot of tips and tricks. One of my favorite stories is a guy named Dwayne Moffatt. He started on this journey of podcasting, never did a Facebook Live ever. Okay, he came to us 28 days later. He ranked #1 for the imperfect parent for parenting on Apple, right? But what's exciting for him is now he's getting into helping parents really understand how they can influence their children, raise them differently, and give them a lot of cool insights in that. So that's just a couple of the people that we've helped that are really trying to impact the family structure.
One of the things I love about that story and podcasting in general is it is definitely proof that the truth vibrates the fastest. The frequency that vibrates the fastest is your truth. And that when people stick to their truth, it resonates with that spectrum within the context of the audience that they're looking for. And I see so many people with podcasts that they think they, need to be, if they're a sports podcast, they need to be ESPN, right? They need to cover everything. If they're a parent, they got to be, Dr. Spock, cover everything. But I just love, the Dr. Pimple Poppers of the world and the imperfect parent of the world that illuminates a certain frequency that resonates with an audience. And it's not a matter of marketing, right? Podcasts aren't viral. Yeah, it's a matter of providing a frequency, good content, quality content. And the nice thing is too, the point of entry is so low that we can utilize, your company, Hindsight Hacking Media, to help facilitate, getting engaged without any risk, because it's a proven way to make sure that your graphics are correct, your audio is correct, the platform and submissions go through correctly, so that all you have to worry about is the most important thing: your frequency, your content, impacting other people, inspiring them to impact other people and share what you're saying, that hopefully is for the greater good, which, we both subscribe to. Last thing real quick before I let you go.
Sure.
Where can people find you, and what type of people should be reaching out to you? Because, there's a wide variety of people who are like, oh, I just have an idea for a podcast, or I've been doing my podcast for 2 years. Who's your best audience to reach out to, and where should they find you?
I will tell you, we want entrepreneurs that are not in it to make just money, because everyone can make money. We really want those impactors that are just stuck with this message in their head and they don't know how to get it out. We want to help them get that out of their head, put it into the marketplace to help them impact people. So we want either the newer entrepreneurs. We just had a person rank in the top 10 and her whole business is around pet photography, right? And not a lot of people are like, that doesn't translate to a podcast. But you know what? She's now able to open doors to influencers that she's never been able to talk to for 5 to 6 years. So again, this is a way to get your message out there, and we just want to be a part of it. So you can hit me up at gethhm.com or follow.cool, or just follow me on Instagram at rcooljr.
Yeah, there's no cooler name than Ron Cool Jr., so that's pretty cool itself. Thank you so much, Ron. I'll talk to you soon, and appreciate being on your podcast. I think we're launching it earlier this week, where I came on, and
Yes.
I really enjoyed having the ability to use your platform to empower over 1 billion people, which is exactly what you're about. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, David, and it's been a pleasure.
Stay cool, Ron.
Take care.
Right on.
Bye.
I wish I had that name. That's a unbelievably cool name. Hey, what's your name? Heard of Joe Cool. I'm Ron Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we have our next friend on here, Sherry Mccarty, and she's the co-founder of the Ladies Rising Together, and just an incredible entrepreneur. And we're going to discuss all the pertinent. Here we go. Here we go, Sherry. We're going to talk about leadership and specifically for the lovely ladies that we have and that are listening. Hello.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And, myself situated. I don't know how we got unsituated. Anyway, Ladies Rising Together. What inspired you to build a community to elevate women and leadership?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I got inspired a few years ago when I noticed there could be more women in the entrepreneur and sales world. So when I joined the insurance industry, there wasn't a lot of women at the time that were out there thriving and killing it. So we created Ladies Rising Together as a platform to be able to feel like women have other women that they can rely on, and also get the mentorship, and also really be able to build the confidence that we felt other women needed that push for.
You know, it's remarkable. I've seen an evolution. I've seen progress, not perfection. I have 3 daughters who are all entrepreneurial and are very excited about building business and selling and doing all the great things that the milestone women in their lives that I present to them, like you present to them, that I can do that. If Sherry can do it, I can do it. But one of the things that I've learned through all the different, female quotient, all the seminars and workshops, coming from a kid who, I'm the chief chancellor of Junior Achievement University. I'm an alumni from when I was a little boy. There's not one girl in my entrepreneurial junior achievement group, and now we're over 50% women. So wow. The future looks bright. I told you, progress, not perfection. But one of the interesting components, I love the fact that you say Ladies Rising Together, because one of the stigmas from my generation was that, it was much more difficult for women to rise. But one of the components of why it was so difficult is that women would fight each other and wouldn't elevate each other. It was a hyper competitive, scarce type of atmosphere, which is understandable. But number one, historically, is that something that you've seen as well? And then 2, was that behind the philosophy of having this, rising together type of community instead of an individual empowerment type of community?
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing that back in high school, maybe, but I think that it's definitely evolved.
So you're saying I'm old?
No, not at all. But yeah, definitely maybe when we were younger, it starts that way. But as Ladies Rising Together, we didn't want other women to feel like it was a competition. We wanted it more so help each other rise all together. It wasn't who gets there first or who wins. It's let's help each other both get there.
And one of the areas that I love is that you're working within insurance, which I always tell people, look, there's just an amazing historical opportunity in insurance. And I'm a huge investor myself, whether it be IULs, annuities, because I, in my timing and risk tolerance, believe in no risk. I'd rather pay attention to making money and allow my money to make it, even if it's a slower aggregate compound interest type of opportunity than a risk at all. And maybe that's because I lost it all and learned my lesson. For you, why did you choose the insurance industry to create wealth and legacy, especially with women?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I came from real estate and I broke my first 6 figures there, but I wasn't getting the fulfillment that I was looking for. Although I was hitting the financial aspect that I always wanted, I wasn't able to help people on a large scale. So when I got introduced to the insurance industry, I found the residual income and being able to build an agency and help not only people in the community, obviously with our products, but also be able to train and mentor other people within the field to be able to get where they want to be.
Now, I grew up with a single mom, 6 kids. She worked 2 jobs, packed my dinner in a paper bag, carried it around in a station wagon way back in the 70s. You know, my father wasn't a great financial supporter when he was divorced. It was the 70s, so there's different expectations, I think, and laws that existed even. But it was extreme amount of financial stress put upon my mom, and I learned some great lessons by watching her. Still today, I think there's some great financial stresses placed upon moms, and here you are, you know, kind of people first agency and a mom yourself. What are some of the challenges that, you know, middle-aged males like myself may not understand in building your own, you know, 6, 7, and 8-figure business while still being a mom?
Yeah, that's honestly, patience is one for sure. Patience. I know that a lot of moms would agree with that, but also I know a lot of moms don't want to be treated like they're just a mom in the business. They want to be treated like any other man or woman that would walk in and wants to dominate. They're in the sales field for a reason, so just hold them accountable to what they want. Don't prejudge.
Yeah, it's so funny because I love that "just a mom" quote, and it happens, you know, on both sides of the fence. Because I do so many interviews, and I have these extraordinary women like yourself that are moms. And I had one yesterday, Shanae Rose, and she goes, "I hate to say this, but I, you know, just a mom," and she goes, "I don't even know what to say besides just a mom because it's such a encompassing, most important position you will ever hold." It's, you know, to me, an indicator of what we're here to do, which is expand ourselves.
Right.
And my mom's still my hero. I've been around the greatest heroes, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers. And people ask me, who's the most extraordinary person you've ever met? And I'll say my mom, without a doubt. There's still, she is just, I get choked up thinking about it. I've watched some heroic things happen in my life. Nothing as heroic is what my mom has been able to do, and the success that and impact that she's had. For you, what's your legacy as a, you know, entrepreneur, a successful businesswoman, and a mom? What's your legacy that you'd love to leave?
The legacy I would love to leave is I want to be known as the woman who made a platform to be able to help others win, for my family and for everyone else that I associate myself with.
And now, do you accept men in your group, or is it women only?
We do actually. We love actually all of the men in our agency. They show up to our calls. They wear their Ladies Rising shirt. They're there to learn too. So it's for everyone.
Ah, see, that's what we need. More inclusion for everyone to know that we're all the same. We're all connected. One branch would not go toward another branch. We're all sponsors and power sponsors of one another. Now, where can people reach out if they want to join your team or learn more about your team and what you're doing?
Yeah, best is my Instagram. It's just my first and last name, or Ladies Rising Together site. Either one can reach out and love to help whoever.
Awesome. It's at Sherry_Mccarty. Check her out. She's an incredible woman, an inspiration. And like I always like to say, you're a milestone. And the reason I say that is a milestone is a person that the younger generation and other people can look up to so that they can surpass. And it's not just we have to see somebody. To me, it's that milestone that I see Sherry, and it's amazing what she's done, but I want to do better. And I want my 3 daughters as well to look at women like you and say, wow, if she can do it, I can even do better than that. And it's so nice to have milestone successful people like you. Please reach out at Sherry_Mccarty. Thank you so much, Sherry. Come back and visit me.
Thank you, David. Have a good day.
Congrats. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What a great entrepreneur. And I love the fact she includes men on her team. You know, I think too many times we create these organizations and don't include everybody. And I think it's so important to educate, you know, men to be in the Ladies Rising group, Ladies Rising Together, so that they can understand the issues. They can ask questions, because there's no way we could understand as a man what it's like unless we're there in symbiosis with you, working next to you, asking the questions and learning from each other, and opening the channels of communication, not separating them. So incredible. I'm gonna take a quick question, and then we're gonna bring on Rocky. You know, that's my favorite movie. Not Sylvester Stallone, though. We're talking about Rocky Collis from Mustard. All right. How to stop coming up with negative what of scenarios. Cancel them. If you are, you know, our thoughts, negative behavior is always in favor. Negative behavior is always in favor because it's easy to do that. And we want to make sure that we cancel it, clear it, and connect it to the positive side of it. I have the CEO, Rocky Collis, coming on, and co-founder of Mustard, and talk about understanding the biomechanics of what we do in performance. These guys have worked with Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, all the great ones, but also I think both of you guys were baseball players, you and the doctor. Did you play baseball as well, Rocky?
Oh, I did a lifetime ago, David. Good to be here with you, by the way. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I grew up playing baseball. Baseball was life for me. Played in college, got to play a little bit in the minor leagues, which was an honor and a treat. Grew up reading Tom House's books, watching his VHS tapes. So that's how old I am. Still have a few of them laying around, and now I get to work with the guys. So it's been an unbelievable journey.
You know, I got the fortunate opportunity to talk to Dr. Tom House and talk about biomechanics, but also data. And I really thought one of the most interesting points, because I have, as you know, worked around the greatest baseball players in the world and running a notable sports agency with, you know, the likes of Sabathia Ramirez. And I'm still the Goodwill ambassador to Carousel, which I think per capita has the best baseball players in the world. Per capita, unbelievable talent. But I'm trying to figure out how the data that you collect and utilize to execute on your highest performance blends in or allows you to take advantage of the innate talent, the, you know, desire that you have to be what you must be. And you play college ball and minor league ball, so you know the subtleties of success of, you know, those special players that may data-wise, you know, line up like this, mirror to you, but somehow, you know, Tony Gwynn is that much better, or, you know, Sabathia was that much better, whatever it was, or Tom Brady at 44 can be that much better. What is it about the blend of knowing the data? How does it affect being able to reach our potential?
Yeah, look, the real genius of Dr. Tom House is figuring out how to take really complicated data, 10,000 lines of numbers if you're looking at a biomechanical report card, and figuring out what are the 5 or 6 teachables from that data that matter. And so I think, you know, the truth is the difference for a lot of people that make it into that elite tier now and people that maybe even quit playing sports at 14 is access to that kind of elite coaching. And so that's really the mission for us at Mustard, David, is how do we take what Tom House does, make it accessible, scalable, so that more kids can get it starting at a younger age, apply personalized teachings and keep playing sports. If I can, I'll give you a personal example from me.
Yeah, please.
So, and look, I was lucky growing up. I had incredible parents, you know, I had great coaches. But even still, you know, I had great local coaches that knew a lot, but they weren't Tom House training Hall of Fame athletes all over the world in multiple sports. Trying to take what Tom was writing about and applying it to me individually, very difficult to do. There was an article in Baseball America when I was a kid. I still remember it very specifically. You can find it online. Tom and Nolan Ryan, who was one of his, you know, initial pupils, they had this argument about what made Nolan Ryan throw hard. Okay. And Nolan said, you know, my leg kick is a really important factor in me throwing hard. And this is, you know, comes back to data. Tom said, there's no way a leg kick is making you throw harder towards the plate when you're kicking your leg up into the sky. You're going the wrong direction. And Nolan said, Tom, plug it in your computer and we'll see who's right. Okay. So they put Nolan in the 3D motion analysis. And Tom says, as usual, Nolan was right. Okay. Nolan threw 6% harder because of his leg kick. So I read that as an 11-year-old kid, and of course I'm going to get 7%. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to kick. This leg is in my ear every pitch, and if you Google me, you still see my leg kick. My knee is all the way up in my chest. The difference, of course, is I don't have Nolan Ryan's athleticism. I thought I did, but it turns out it wasn't anywhere close. And so for me, when I'm kicking my leg, I'm way off balance. I'm moving away from the plate. If you look at Nolan's leg kick, his knee's in his ear, but his butt is moving towards the plate at the same time. A very difficult athletic thing to do. So you got to be able to take these teachings and personalize them, apply them to you. And that's really the first thing we're doing with Mustard. I mean, the thing for Mustard is we're creating a platform where anybody can get personalized instruction on how to accelerate their performance. The first thing, the hook, is this pitching biomechanic analysis where not just give you access to all your data, because that's not helpful for 99% of the population. But here are the 5 or 6 things that really need focusing on. Are you balanced? Is your timing good? Is your stride length good? What are the things that are important for your health and longevity? And making sure people are focused on those things rather than just trying to look at all the data that doesn't matter and getting lost in it the way I did.
Yeah, and me too. And throughout my entire career, still in a variety of different industries, getting lost in that data and losing focus and clarity and balance of what we're trying to do. And I love the fact that you give the best piece of advice in there, which, I get to speak so many different places. Will say, Mr. Meltzer, what's the best thing I should do as an entrepreneur? And I said, spend an hour a day on your health, learn something that you love to do. And they look at me like, dude, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, if you're not healthy, talk about a very difficult, stressful, physically, enduring business to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If you're not healthy, you're not going to make it, and you're not going to be able to take care of anyone. So I love that we're starting at a young age. One of the other things that you guys do is it's more than just the practical nature of giving you 5 or 6 things to focus in on. But you do have an empowering message. I see Johnny Wells from Ohio State and the Houston Texans is here. He'll probably agree. But, you also kind of break things down to the basics of what, encouraging kids to do their best, right? To learn something and to have fun. Those were the 3 things that I kind of took away from Mustard beyond the incredible, transformation of hyper collected data into a simple way to get better every day. But it's under the context of, hey, look, you got to do your best. We can give you all these things, but you got to practice. And 2, you got to learn something. And 3, we're going to make it fun for you. And I think in all sports, if we can convey the message that Mustard does with all the great attributes that it has, these kids are going to get more engaged in sports again. Because I don't know if a lot of people know, and I know you do, I think the biggest tragedy is that these kids are quitting.
That's what we're all about. So look, our purpose is to democratize this really elite coaching, but our mission statement is to revolutionize the power of play. Okay. And what we mean by revolutionize the power of play is exactly what you're talking about. 70% of kids are quitting most sports by the time they're 14. We think that's because at 14, all of a sudden, you're facing kids that have good coaching. And most kids at that age, they don't have resources to get decent coaching. So sports stop being fun. You're getting your butt kicked all the time. That's not fun. We think we can help fix that. Tom, he was on your show yesterday. He talked about his personal mission statement and his coaching is to inform, instruct, and inspire. And I think really the piece you're talking about there is inspire. We think we can do a lot of that through technology, through live events that we're hosting within our community, making sure people are inspired. But the other piece about play, David, and you talk a lot about the lessons people learn from sports that they can apply to business. And that's a big thing we're about. Not every kid is going to play in the major leagues, and that's not the point. The point is to give kids access to team sports longer than they otherwise would because of all you learn from it. One thing you learn from it is the importance of a quiet mind, being able to access that playful, creative part of your brain, how much better you perform athletically when you're able to do that. And when you can learn how to do that and that mental side of the game through sports, you can apply it to other things in life. So, our other co-founder in this, in addition to Dr. Tom House, is Jason Goldsmith. Jason, we think, is the best mental performance coach in sports. Okay, so we really learn a lot from him, both in terms of what we're teaching our users, our community, but also in terms of what we do as a company. So we're, in a lot of ways, we're super lucky to have these coaches involved in our company and to start with them.
Yeah, it's awesome because I think of 2 words that people get confused, and your app, Mustard, really approaches not only being coachable through the right data and the right technique, but teachable. And these 2 qualities will carry through your life of being more interested than interesting, of connecting to others, inspiring others, motivating versus inspiring. And I can't tell you how many CEOs I have on and founders like yourself that did make it. Right, I'm a self-admitted average Division III football player. Right, no great accomplishments on the field, but I will tell you, business school, law school, multiple businesses, hundreds of millions of dollars. Nothing has impacted my life more, right? Nothing. And I think that's why it's so important. So everyone there, I get choked up thinking about how important this stuff is. And that's why I love having Mustard on. You guys can fill up my agenda anytime. And I look forward to teaching more people and sending them, because we need more. Look, even within the women, you know, the statistics, the number one common denominator of women executives in America, which are far in desperate need, we need to, you know, have this equity and equality. They played college sports or some kind of sport.
Look, gender equity is a big piece of this for us too. The last company that I'm really honored to have started was Re Inc. That my co-founders are 4 members of the U.S. women's soccer team, and so that's part of what we're born of. And one of the things we're really excited about is that more women and girls are playing baseball in addition to playing softball, and so that's been a really growing, exciting part of our community. There's a fabulous coach named Justine Siegel who runs an organization called Baseball for All, which is young women and girls playing baseball, and she's one of our advisors. Has been a force. And we're also looking forward to getting into softball, where hitting a baseball and hitting a softball are exactly the same thing, and the mental component is exactly the same. So again, we're starting in baseball pitching, but I think there's an opportunity here for us to really build out a platform where people can get the personalized instruction they need to keep playing sports.
That's awesome. Well, I'm part of @Team Mustard, MSTRD. You guys are doing an incredible job. Every parent out there, please check it out. We need more kids learning, having fun, being inspired, and there's no better people than these guys to learn it from. Trust me, I've been around this game a long time, and you got the best of the best, and you guys are producing an incredible platform to allow people to stay in the game and stay playing. Thank you so much. I look forward to doing more content with you guys. So appreciate your time.
Thanks, David.
Anywhere else people can reach you? Anywhere else people can reach you?
Love for people to follow us on social media. The handles are @Team MSTRD. Team MSTRD.
I'm a big Mustard fan. All right.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Who needs ketchup when you got mustard in baseball? That's for sure. And these guys get it right. Check them out. And Rocky Collis, Dr. Tom House, Jason Goldsmith. Like I said, that's a powerful combination. If they were a basketball team, they'd be the Golden State Warriors, or I guess it's the Brooklyn team now. Those are the big three, they call them. Awesome. Anyway, let me answer a couple questions. In about 2 hours and 23 minutes, I'm going to do a training on innovation versus entrepreneur. They're all available on the Playbook top podcast you can download on Entrepreneur, Spotify, Google, iTunes. It's all there. You just go reach it. What are you most excited about? I am most excited about filming season 2 of the 2-Minute Drill, my new show. Season 2 we're filming next week. We've expanded it out. It's on Bloomberg and Amazon. The pilot went well, but season 2 is extraordinary. We've expanded it out to an hour. We got 5 vignettes. You get to learn about the person. They get to pitch, and then you get some great knowledge from unbelievable coaches in that $50,000 of cash and prizes to each winner. So it's no joke, and it's on Bloomberg and Amazon. Season 2, we are filming next week. That's what I'm most excited about. But as always, download the Playbook, catch them all. Everything's there. And it's just on every platform, and it's featured there. We are blessed. We're blessed to have you. Thank you, everyone, so much. Most importantly, everyone, remember, not only to see me in 2 hours and 23 minutes, go ahead, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. You want books, guides, exercises, they're all free, david@dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. It's that simple. I'll see you later. Peace.